The Sober Pod is proudly sponsored by Axioms Health, the first of its kind where treatment from drug and alcohol addiction is brought to you in your home. It's a full customizable treatment plan that includes medical care, individual counseling, family therapy, acupuncture, and peer support recovery, to name a few. For more information, visit us at axiomshealth.com. And on to the show.
Thanks for tuning in. Welcome aboard the Sober Pod with your hosts, Sam,
Devin,
and Chris. We are a podcast that digs deep into topics surrounding recovery from addiction. We're not affiliated with any one particular brand of recovery or organization. This is your podcast as much as it is ours. Support us by sending us topics, questions, and ideas for the show.
So sit back,
strap in,
and enjoy the ride.
Welcome to
the Sober Pod. The Sober Pod. The Sober Pod. The Sober Pod. Call your sponsor. Call your brother. Call your mother. Show starting in 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening.
We had the woos in the background. And the...
No, shit got crazy for a second.
It's perfect. We're gonna. That's it. This is the start.
All right, fine.
We're on, baby.
We were talking about different version of the Sober Pod recording. Yeah, well, listen. How does a reggae sound? How does a reggae song sound? Listen to this, you guys. Chaka-paka, 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 chaka. The Sober chaka-paka, chaka-paka pod. That's a reggae song. All right.
Don't hold your laugh in, Devin. Let it out.
I mean, what?
All right.
So
That's a reggae song.
We want different versions of the Sober Pod. We just thought about it. I first thought about the death metal version.
That's a good one.
And you thought about the reggae version.
No, you did. And then Chrissy did?
No, that was me, yeah.
Yeah. Chrissy was like, we need a reggae version.
Well, we don't even need a guitar player for the reggae version.
We don't?
We have you.
With the chaka-paka?
Yeah.
With the chickpeas.
Yeah, I mean...
Get a steel drum in.
If there's any bands out there, I mean... Please
or one-off musicians.
Or one-off musicians.
Totally.
Or, like great impersonators or something. Send us an email.
That would be so good.
We'd love to have like an Elvis intro or, just, another famous voice.
Yeah. If you guys were to actually audio record, either that, you can audio record anything you want to us. Just like say hi or whatever, and then we'll put it on the air.
It's true.
We'll insert it. Anything.
You can send us an email jingle.
Yeah. We can do
anything?
I mean, it has to be.
We'll have to go through our approval.
Who are you? Who are you? We're going to vet it.
Okay.
Yeah, but if it's cool, we'll put it on.
But if it's cool, we'll put it on.
So like if someone...
But don't try to be too cool.
So like if someone used their cell phone recording app, like what I'm using right now.
Yeah.
And send in a voice memo on like who they are and their story. Yeah.
Remember the one I had you listen to with the Pearl Jam podcast that I like, and they played my intro because I said it in Arabic. They thought it was special.
Yeah.
All I did was pull up my voice recorder, send it on email.
Yep.
And they played it. It was really cool. It's cool.
Yeah. Send us.
So you guys
send
could
it
do
to
the
us.
same.
That's all you need.
Yeah. Shout out for yourself. Why not?
Please.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Send it in. Also, we need some.
What do we need?
Character voices for Resentment Randy.
And Relapse Ralph.
Yeah, if we can get some material for that, that'd be great.
All right, let's get into these reviews.
Hit it, Chrissy.
All right. These are all on Apple Podcasts reviews.
Sweet.
First one by username Hunsky, HUNSKY103. The Recovery We Strive For, the title. Thank you guys for providing this. The recovery you have is an illustration of what the best of this life has to offer. Thank you for sharing it with us. It's a great example of what sobriety can be. I'm proud to know you all.
So this person knows us.
Yeah, do you know who this is?
No,
Yeah, me neither.
Hun.
I don't know
Hun,
who any-
SKY.
Yeah, Hunski. Because we know a Humski,
We know a Humsky.
but a Hunski.
Humsky wouldn't spell his name wrong.
No, he would not.
maybe the Humsky was taken, so he chose the N. Maybe the M was taken. Anyway, whoever this person is, thank you so much.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
Yeah,
That is
thank you.
cool.
So this person knows us then.
Maybe he'll reveal himself to us one of these days.
Well, you have to if you want your prize, which
Oh,
we
yeah.
will reveal in 2025.
All right, next one. Finally, a real podcast, and then the title gets cut off. For something. Hey,
For
look.
real people.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think so.
The user is, hey, look, a great podcast.
I know who that is.
The vibe between these three guys is unparalleled. Wow. What a word. Thank you. They invite you into a conversation and, more importantly, their lives. Tackling real issues in everyday language is not easy, but these guys pull it off well. Thanks, man.
That is
Or
really
woman.
nice.
Yeah, this person at work texted me and said, hey, something along the lines of like, way to put yourself out there, way to be vulnerable. I don't know if I can do it. And I was thinking like, oh my God, what have I done? You know? All of a sudden I'm like, oh my God.
You went back and
Just
listened to
because of
every
the way this
episode.
person worded it, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. no,
Because
I had
this-
that moment today, too.
This person wrote us after the first episode. So the intro episode, like, Dev, you and I are talking about being insane. Like, high five
Willy-nilly.
for declarations,
I know.
you know?
Yeah.
And it made me think WTF, and then I was over it.
No, I had
few
that
days later.
moment today, too.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was meeting my supervisor
Oh,
at work, and I had told her about it, and like not even really giving it a second thought. Yeah, it's this cool little project I'm doing, sort of thing. And then she like pulled me to the side, and she was like, "Are you sure you want me to listen to this?" And then like when she said that, like my heart froze.
Yeah.
It like sank in my stomach.
So today she asked you, are you sure you want me to listen to this?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so I was like, wait, do I?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, and then I started rewinding like every single thing I've ever said
Yeah.
on the show.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you know what? Like, it doesn't matter. I was like, fuck it. Just roll it.
Roll the tape.
Fuck it, we're going live.
We're going live.
This thing sucks. We're going live.
I thought about that a little bit, like at one point of like, you know, my family and stuff that
Right.
I haven't, shout out to all the fam out there listening in. Like
Yep.
that. I mean, but I haven't, specifically gone into like they'll be learning things about me off the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just like, it's good.
Yeah, we're going
I mean,
live.
it's just I mean,
Don't lie.
how it's just it's one of those things like I wouldn't tell them, but
Right.
it's just like
That's what I
it's
was thinking,
It's one of those
too.
things where it's like I don't have anything to hide.
Right.
I'm not ashamed. I'm not
Right.
it's my past.
No, I think
these
if
are
we were
it's my
ashamed-
experience or something, but it's just like it's not one of those things like if I'm hanging out with them, I'm like, hey, by the way, did I tell you about that time? It's like no, like,
Yeah.
we're just hanging out doing whatever.
Yeah, no, you didn't tell me about that time. I'm your dad. Okay, you're right. It made me think that there's some aspect of vulnerability that I probably need to practice more and more on this thing. And so when I go back and we're editing episodes or, we're looking at, best ways to release which one before what. In other words, listening to them again and I can hear myself. It's like, man, well, yeah, putting myself out there consciously is not easy. There's a lot of things that I've said that I wouldn't take back now, but had I had the choice then, I probably wouldn't have said them. They just came out. So practicing vulnerability is a good thing for me.
Yeah,
And that's what we're doing, though, for real. Because I think there's authenticity in that. There's a certain level of, taking this thing seriously, maybe not taking ourselves too seriously. And this is part of why we wanted you guys' feedback.
Well, and remember we talked a lot about stigma,
Yeah.
right? And the only way to bust that is to be authentic and vulnerable.
yeah,
Yeah.
So other people can hear it. So if we're not doing it, then we're sort of compounding the stigma that comes with addiction
Yeah.
and mental health. So
Yeah.
even though it might be uncomfortable for us to say some of the details of what happened, it might be providing a service that a higher level of something that we don't really know how it, you know what I mean?
It's going to affect somebody
the type
else.
of benefit. Yeah,
Totally,
exactly.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
Agreed.
like.
I mean, but I mean, have you listened through, or you take that and gotten heady about doing an episode afterwards and been and like watching yourself, like maybe like talked about something a certain way, like the tone of your voice, and you're like, I don't want to sound like that. I don't want to get all like up in your head about it.
I've definitely had episodes I've listened back to and been like, this thing sucks. Like, I suck on this thing. I shouldn't have said this, or I shouldn't have said. I mean, I've told you to, dude. Can we edit that?
I do know.
But we ended up leaving the thing that I was worried about, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I sometimes I like have second thoughts, but
Yeah,
How about
I just want to be able to. I mean, yeah, I want to be funnier and I want to be deeper and I want to be all those things, but it doesn't really hijack my mind like that.
yeah, I don't think it hijacks. Not in the moment. Not when we're recording.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Even afterwards, there is the sense of me being a listener, listening in on the three of us. There's
Yeah,
there's
that's
that
true.
ability for me to remove myself from the equation when I'm listening to our episode, and it's something I'm digging. Every now and again, I like Chris said, I'll be like, man, I'm taking this thing way too far. This story should have been 3 minutes shorter than what is that? Whatever it is,
Right.
just insecurities that pop up for no good reason. But in all seriousness, I think it's been a great outlet for me thus far because it's still yet another avenue in my own recovery that we haven't visited before. We're so lucky to be able to do this, and we're super grateful to be able to
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, like we're at
Yeah.
HQ2 tonight,
Yeah.
recording from the basement, and Devin bought all the goodies down here for us to be able to record. Like, this is nothing to scoff at. It's super grateful to be able to do it.
Yeah,
It's beautiful stuff,
definitely. All right, should I keep going?
Please.
Inspiring, the topic of this one, by Mike M. Miiikem. Mike.
Mike.
This podcast is humorous and insightful, full of direct experiences that cover meaningful topics while finding truth and humor in it all. I feel like I'm on a journey when listening. Good stuff. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, man.
Love
Good stuff.
Well, I love the word journey. One of my favorite words.
One of your favorite bands?
Words. Not a good band. I mean, not a bad band.
Not a good band?
Not a bad band.
Not a bad
But not
band.
my favorite band.
You're not a Journey, what do they call
I don't
it?
have any other records, but Journey.
Not a
man.
good band.
Not a good band.
Not a good band.
Not a good band. All right, next one. By
Don't stop.
Believe. All right. William Dari, Authentic and Informative is the title of this one. I love the way you guys discuss your journeys in recovery in such a relatable, impactful, but also humorous manner. Thank you, William Dari.
William Dari. Do we know William Dari?
I think I know who that is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tell me later. Awesome.
yeah. When I tell you, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
Here's another one. Thank you. He also put a thumbs up emoji, a satisfied face emoji, and a prayer emoji by Gregory B. Esquire III. The podcast is covering heavy things with a light heart. The hosts are fun and keep it real.
Let's keep it real.
Let's keep it real. The sounds quality is great. I hope there are more seasons to come. Woohoo!
This is awesome, dude. This
Yeah.
is crazy.
So good. I mean, it is crazy.
What's crazy about it, Dev? You like it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know.
You weren't expecting it.
I mean,
Like all the love we're getting?
yeah, it's kind of cool. We've only been published for like not that long.
A couple weeks, 3 weeks.
I mean, I guess it's just like maybe I'm just one of those guys that I don't comment on things.
yeah, that's true.
You know, like,
Yeah, thank you guys for leaving these
Yeah,
reviews.
like,
Like,
I don't know.
you went out of your way to write
Yeah.
something about it. Like, that's awesome.
To help us out.
yeah, like I feel like
Have you ever written a Yelp review?
I feel like, yeah, I have.
Yeah. I wish I could read it. What was it for?
Was it good or bad?
I hope there's a history on Google where it just like catalogs my reviews. I think I've maybe only left 2 or 3 in my entire life. And I
Yeah.
believe one of them was just a rating. Nothing was even said.
Okay, yeah, that's different.
That's
but
terrible.
have you
though.
written a review?
I believe I've written something.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, I've written some stuff for some local businesses
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
you know,
I've
like,
crushed the local business ones.
yeah, like
Resentment Randy came out.
yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like most of the time, the only time I'm ever going to leave a review is for crushing.
Yeah, that's usually
You know, and it's like that's such a so
such a hater way to live.
yeah,
huh?
man. Like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
the hell? Like, why can't
Yeah.
like that's what I think is just cool. Like, it's I feel like I need.
You probably felt like you were doing a service to the community.
Yes.
Do not visit this place because
Yeah,
That's how I felt.
right.
You guys don't want to visit here, especially New Year's Eve either. They're not going to take care
New
of you.
Year's Eve.
The pizza come out soggy.
Oh, dude,
they
I know
didn't give me a
exactly
good
what.
deal.
Did you Yelp review that?
I Yelp reviews the shit out of that.
Oh my gosh, that's
Wait,
amazing.
You saw it?
Dude, I was there for that New Year's.
And
You
you
talking
were
about-
there too.
yeah, the pizza
Oh.
joint.
You Yelp reviewed that
I
night?
Yelp reviewed
You know what? You know
Not only that, after I picked up the pizzas, there was a parking lot. I reversed the car, parked it in another spot to leave the review before I go enjoy my New Year's Eve.
Resentment Sammy. Woo! He's back,
Never said again,
baby.
Yo, they killed me that night. God, that pizza was so
Was
good,
it?
though, for real.
Oh.
We may want to edit this one out, but
Why? Why? Were
The
they going to
name.
sue
They
us?
could be
No, no.
sponsors for us or something. Who knows?
yeah, no,
I guess we could bleep that part out.
yeah, maybe we can
burn
bleep
a
that part out.
bridge.
Can you? Do you know how to bleep?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to edit it out. I just want to bleep it.
We're not gonna tell you what it was.
I remember that. I mean, I don't remember the pizza being terrible.
No,
that
the
night.
pizza wasn't terrible. It was the service that crushed me.
Oh, the service.
Yeah, I waited. No, but in all seriousness, I waited. I think it was 2 hours and 15 minutes or
Oh,
something.
fuck that. Yeah.
Dude, it was vicious.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Taller than
leave a review for, I mean, I wouldn't even be the type to leave a review if the food came out cold, because they always do. They always what's the word I'm looking for? They always fix it, right?
Yeah.
They always fix it.
Yeah.
So it's no problem for me if something is fixed, but it was just you couldn't fix time.
You can't fix the time, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
true.
and I felt like, okay, you guys are just totally ignoring me and whatever. So
Yeah.
I think that's my only Yelp. No, it's not my only Yelp, but that was the worst Yelp.
I just think it's like I don't know. I feel like I should step my game up on reviewing
Like positive
things.
reviews.
Yeah, reviewing things like unlike establishments I go to frequently or go back to that
Definitely.
I have great because we live in an age where reviews mean so much.
They do.
It's so true,
It's
yeah.
everything, dude.
They
Like
do.
when I make decisions anywhere I go, I'm looking at the damn reviews.
Yeah.
It's true, yeah.
And that yes, they can be misleading, but sure, like it's still though. Generally, I feel like for the most part, I haven't had like
there's a little trick I'm going to teach you. When you guys see reviews, go for the 3 stars.
I go for the 2.
You do you?
Yeah, because the fake haters are going to go 1. They're going to hit 1 star.
Yes.
The pumpers are going to go for 5 star.
Yes.
Maybe 4
Yes.
if they're smart. So I go for the 3 and the 2.
The 2 and the 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
I usually go for the 3 because you get
pumpers.
pros and cons. I love that.
Dude, there's pumpers out there.
Hey,
Like,
can we have any pumpers out there?
There's
Please
paid
email
pumpers.
us. I know,
you know that?
dude. There's
We'll pump
people
up this
that-
podcast, yo.
there's click farms, dude.
Click Farms.
Click farms.
You know how many things I've bought on
can pay-
Amazon?
Oh,
Based
off
on
the-
some
off the
fake-
A
rates.
lot. And
based
you know
on
how
fake
many
stuff.
reviews I've left? 0.
None.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of these companies out there, startup guys, whatever,
Right.
like
Yeah.
they needs it.
Yeah. Speaking of reviews, I do want to shout out a lunch spot that I ate today in Herndon, local spot.
What you got?
Called Woo Boy.
Woo boy!
WOOBOI. They do Nashville hot chicken
Money?
sandwiches. Oh
Money?
my god, it's so good.
Woo boy!
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about that.
They
Just
got,
opened up.
they got some sides over there. What kind of sides are they working with?
They're not like a super extensive menu. Like they specialize
Just
in
a
hot
sandwich.
chicken.
I like
You know what I mean?
Keep
I
it
do
simple.
know what you mean.
They
yeah.
do have fries, and the fries are good. But
Give me
get
3
the-
items on the menu.
I don't even want the sandwich buns. I just want the chicken.
Yeah, you can get wings, you can get tenders, but the sandwich is like the specialty. Yeah. But
You gotta be careful with that Nashville hot chicken. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I've never had it. I
It'll-
don't think. What kind of hotness are we talking about?
It'll-
Sweet hot?
it'll
There's
get you.
levels to this
Chipotle
shit.
hot.
yeah, I
There's
mean,
levels.
if you get the real Nashville hots, like the actual.
Yeah. Well, I went with level 2. You
Yeah.
can tell them what level you want. Level 0 is not spicy at all. But level 1 is mild. Level 2 is medium. That's what I had, and it was spicy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had some when I was down in Nashville. I had some of their hot chicken.
You did?
Woo boy.
Yeah, woo boy.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's like lingers. It's the linger spice.
It lingers.
You take that bite and like it's cool because it's like you do get the flavor out the jump.
Yes.
But then it'll just kind of. It's like Thai food, like some Thai, the Thai spice can do that to you.
It's
too.
like accumulative.
Yes,
It's accumulating in your mouth and crushing
the
you
first
as time
bite
goes
it starts
on.
tingling up. You're like, oh, I like this. I like that spiciness. And then you take
Yeah.
another bite, and then it starts compounding on itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So it's one of that type of heat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. If you, like, it's not the first thing you want to eat in the day. Empty
No,
stomach type
like
style.
I ate it for lunch and I'm still like sort of recovering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Sometimes, I mean, I sweat a lot when I eat spicy food, like under my
Me too.
eyes, and it looks kind of like I'm being tortured.
I sweat in my eyeball.
And yeah, but I keep eating it.
Yeah.
Tangent City.
You know, if can I make one more food shout out?
Sure, why not? Since we're on a tangent.
Just want to shout out to Charcoal Kebab / Midtown Kebabs. I think they're the same company. That's it.
Just
You
because
guys
they
is-
have
you guys
the
is
word kebab in it.
Spicy spinach is crucial.
Crucial.
Crucial. Anyways,
All right, you want me to
Moving
keep
on.
going? Okay, this is from Serenity Suze. I wonder who this is.
Hey.
Awesome. You guys are so chill and really show how cool recovery can be. So amazing the connection you can have with people sober and how not to take ourselves too seriously. You all have the wonderful ability to laugh and have fun and also not hide from where you came from prior to entering a beautiful and spiritual life in recovery. Can't wait until the next episode. Thanks, Suze.
Thanks, Serenity Suze.
love it.
Love it. That's amazing.
I like your
Here's-
enthusiasm on the word awesome.
What'd I say?
You just went, awesome.
All right.
Character, man.
No, I know. It's great. I'm glad you're
Here's one by Big Perm. I mean Big Worm. That's what it says.
That's his username?
Big Perm, comma, I mean Big Worm.
It's the best
I can't believe Apple lets you use like usernames so long.
ever.
Yeah.
Psych.
He says, love listening to you guys. It's pretty clear you guys have made some pretty significant changes in your lives. Honest and relatable content for anyone in recovery. Proud to call Chris a friend and congrats on the launch.
All right, Big Perm. Thanks, man.
Big
I mean,
Perm.
big worm.
Yeah, Big Perm. I mean,
Big
Worm.
Perm.
Big worm.
Amazing. This one's by NB Seward. Guys, this is so amazing. I can't even describe how beneficial this podcast is for me, but also the impact it can have on so many others in recovery. It's an honor and privilege to be able to know you three and see how you all are a true example of recovery. This is something so special, I can't even put it into words, and I can't wait to hear more. Keep it up, guys.
Dang.
That's a
NB.
pumper. That's a pumper.
That's a
right there.
pumper.
That's a
Yeah, we
pump
might have
and
paid that guy, actually.
That's a pump and dump.
Can you read this last one?
Pumper.
Do you have it put up on your phone or no?
I can't get iTunes on my phone.
Because it's from Larry Templeton, and I feel like you can probably do this one better than me.
Let me. Can I see your phone real quick? I'll read it out.
I don't
Well,
have iTunes on mine either. I'm
Yeah.
Android, baby.
I don't
But
know
I have
how
it on
I'll
this.
be having both mics on there.
Oh yeah, you're
You know
right.
what I'm
I
saying?
totally forgot. Yeah.
I have it on this MacBook situation though.
Oh, you do? All right, go ahead, Duff.
Shout out
Or-
to MacBooks.
Or I can just read it.
Shout
Yeah,
out
just read
to
it.
pre 2012 MacBooks. Let's
Is
talk
that what
about
you
it.
have?
2011.
They
let's-
last for a while. They're like
2011s.
Toyotas.
Let's go.
I'm so jealous of you.
It's lightning fast.
I have a 2-year PC. It's still waiting on startup since you guys are right.
Shout out to Bill Gates.
Man, oh man, by Larry Templeton. You guys are really funny, and it's a joy to hear you talk about your sobriety. Really cool. Waiting on more episodes, dudes.
Thanks, Rary. Thank you so much, Rary. We appreciate it so much.
Larry Templeton.
Thanks, Rary.
The
Oh,
legend.
here's one that was just from 12 hours ago.
Cool.
I love this podcast. I feel like I'm hanging out with these guys on every episode, and they crack me up. There's a great chemistry between them, and they're authentic. Thanks. Each episode is different, with new guests bringing something unique to the table. Oh, a little review action here. I like it. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and this has quickly become one of my favorites. I look forward to hearing new episodes, guys.
Awesome.
And who's this from?
MF80.
Thank you, MF80.
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 We love you. We love all y'all.
Any with
MF.
an MF starting is a good sign. MF Doom.
MF Doom is
MF80,
incredible.
maybe.
That's what I'm talking about. Email us at thesoberpod@gmail.com. Please visit us at www.thesoberpod.com, where you can see some photos, a couple of abouts, and not much is going on there. But soon we'll have merch, and we'll have some more
Giveaways.
information. We definitely have giveaways. I think we'll have giveaways on the show. We're talking more about you guys, having you guys Skype in.
Let's get serious about this merch, though. Like, we
Oh, yeah.
really got to get this merch
Yeah,
going.
people that have discount codes for like T-shirt companies and have some, a mug guy where we can get some custom mugs
Yeah.
and hat guy. Please, everyone, fill us in with emails. We need some. This is another great thing about the recovery community
True.
is
We know a guy
You just
who
reach
knows a
out. I
guy.
know a guy. Yeah.
100%. Did you know that I used to know a gal that had a whole T-shirt making business in a basement? And I was going to give you a shout out, but I can't remember your name.
What kind of shirts did she use? Gildan's.
No, it was all like,
Those are the worst.
Gildan's.
I
Yeah.
hate Gildan's,
Oh my
dude.
God, I can't do that.
T-shirt companies, step your game up.
Dude,
You're using
the collar
Gildan's.
on the Gildan
Yeah.
is like.
no Gildan's,
cardboard.
no Hanes, no Fruit of the Loom.
Right.
I've had some decent Fruit of Looms.
Go V-neck. Nobody goes V-neck.
What's your? I mean,
Go
Depends.
V-neck.
It depends.
what's the? What is it? Cool print?
Yeah, I mean,
What's
yeah,
the-
it depends. Absolutely true.
cool something. Cool cuts.
It's definitely not cool cuts.
Cool tees. What's?
Yeah, cool cuts.
Yes.
Go ahead and change your business name.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I need a Sober Pod T-shirt. Like,
Stat.
yeah, I
Yeah.
need that.
I need a Sober Pod mug. And
I really want a hat. I want a
you
trucker
want a
hat.
hat? You,
Trucker hat.
you know, yeah, I can definitely see you in a trucker hat. You know what I'd like?
What?
Sober Pod slouchy beanie. Talk to me.
Dude, a slouchy beanie. You
The
love those
beanie.
slouchy beanies.
Love those things.
I would love a Sober Pod hoodie, dude.
Yes.
That's
Good
for the
night.
major
or actually,
Patreon.
a Sober Pod sweatshirt with no hood, just the sweatshirt.
If you guys want to give us $1 or two, if you guys want to give us $1 or two,
You will rock that.
All right. Oversized. Yeah.
Russell brand.
Yeah. Soul brand champion. Dude, champion's back now. I'm sorry, Sam.
it's okay. I love being cut off when I'm asking for money. If you guys want to visit us at Patreon, Patreon here. Hello, Patreon. I'm raising my hand. Nobody's calling on me.
Anyone home?
Anyway, I don't even know if our Patreon is working yet. Don't go to Patreon yet.
Yeah, don't
Waiting
do
on the
that.
sidelines for nothing.
Because we're airing this soon, right? This is one of the ones that we're going to air soon.
We are.
yeah, yeah. We'll let you know, but maybe our sponsor Axioms will pay for like the first boost of merchandise that we can put on our website.
That'd be awesome, man. What a great sponsor. We also wanted to get somebody or maybe end up with a script ourselves so we can tell you a little bit about Axiom because
Yeah.
we actually believe in who's sponsoring us right now. We love what they're about. So we wanted, I mean, we're not going to make a whole episode of it, but we definitely want to talk to you more about this in-treatment concept of in-home treatment.
Yeah,
That's not at all, that has not been around for too long.
yeah, fairly new.
Fairly new.
Yeah.
So great concept.
It's a rad idea.
Great stuff. Yep. All right. That's it.
No, we got an email to read, right?
Yes, that's it for the housekeeping stuff. Email, and then
Yeah.
we'll get into the email. Yeah.
Let's do
Yeah.
that.
Let's do it.
So we got one email, great email. We saved it for this one. From he signs it Mike, so it's the same. Must be the same Mike that left us the review.
on iTunes. Mike.
Mike. We can have him as a podcast character, right?
This bird
Mike.
named Mike.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Great podcast, fellas. Thanks for finally releasing some content. I've been hearing about this thing for a hot minute, and I want what I want when I want it. And now that I have it, I need more of it. Is that like a Christopher Walken cowbell thing, or
That's so good.
it sounds
Can you
like
read that one more time?
I want what I want when I want it, and now that I have it, I need more of it.
It's just a recovery thing, I think. But
That's poetic.
it's
Yeah.
like,
I get it.
a lot of
accurate.
wants and needs.
Yeah. First, I want to say that episode 2, Grief and Loss, was inspiring. After listening to it Friday night, it inspired me to go visit my parents. I don't see them that often or spend as much time as I should with them. My sponsor and others who have lost a parent always tell me, when they're gone, you're going to ask yourself, why didn't you spend more time with them? The reality is there are people who have lost their mom or their dad and wish they were in my shoes and had the ability to call them or even the opportunity to give up their time or switch around their schedules to make more time for them. It's a clear example of my inability at times to see how incredibly fortunate I am to still have them in my life. Question for the pod. How do I limit the power that daily responsibilities and circumstances have over me? I sometimes feel pressured by all these great opportunities God has given me, but I struggle to enjoy the moment sometimes and remember what's really important. I get so wrapped up in the grind that I feel like I'm living in the future and not in the now. What I've been doing to alleviate some of this is trying to think about anyone but myself. Being helpful when I'm in this state of mind has carried me through and kept me sane. But the hard part sometimes is the willingness to do that. I often find that when I'm thinking about myself too damn much, I'm not helping anyone and I'm a dick. Want to know what your thoughts are on this. Thanks. Respectfully, Mike. Mike.
Damn, Mike. So
Mike
good.
coming in with the heavy hitter.
So
There's a lot of stuff in there, man.
Yeah, there is. I need to have like that email in front of me so I can.
let me ask you the original question. How does Mike limit the power, or just for ourselves, how do we limit the power that daily responsibilities and circumstances have over us? And I'm guessing he means stuff like work, school, if you go to school.
When we're talking about giving it power, we're talking about where we find our fulfillment. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
The delusion of finding your fulfillment.
Yeah.
though, because he's obviously complaining about where, how do I limit this power over me?
Yeah.
And I get,
I
think
mean, there is a sort of energy that you do get from that, but it's just
Yeah.
the thing that it's not like a lasting, fulfilling, to the core of you type fulfillment. But
Well-
there is something, or else, people wouldn't be, there's a lure to like working a lot and making a lot of money and,
Yeah.
like it's not just, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it has something there. but
yeah,
it's just-
and I'm not going to say whether his motive is making a lot of money or not,
Right.
but I can totally.
I was speaking personally.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and I'm thinking like there's this all or nothing mentality. I wish I made sense in the first part that I said. It was making sense in my head, so. But I'm thinking like there's a lot of it's really is an all or nothing mentality with careers, and I don't know. I've only worked in this country, so I'm not going to only say in this country, but work is a big thing. Career is such a big part of what we think makes us. It's an illusion, I think, in a way. Because it becomes, you may not want to make money, but work could become everything. So it's not really only about money. Or you might want to make money and money becomes everything. And so it's tricky. I've been there. And here's the other thing I just want to say real quick. I know people in my work. I know what it looks like to give your life to work, is what I'm trying to say. And man, it doesn't look pretty. Like these people become consumed with work. It's their life. You can tell it's their life because, I don't think that. Did you just fart on air? This is great. This is not going to get
I
cut.
hope the mic picked that up.
Yeah, me too.
I really do.
Me too. This is not going to get cut. Next time, fart in the mic.
Yeah.
That's inappropriate.
Oh yeah.
This is a
This
tool.
is a family show.
This is a tool, okay? This is a tool for.
This is a tool that I put up and
This is a tool.
Put
for
up to my mouth.
This is a tool for a job, okay?
I love how Sam tried to finish his thought and pretend like it didn't happen, and then he couldn't pretend any longer. He was just like, "Fuck, I gotta call this fucker out."
It took about a jiffy for me to decide that I can't.
The way you looked over at me
can't
was just...
It was incredible.
You're like,
Here's what happened in my mind. Are we gonna be able to edit this out?
it's like
Would it make sense to edit this
That
out?
little pipsqueak. Look at that.
It's good work, Dev. That's good work. You got me out of that moment.
It's all for the fans, all right? It's all for the fans.
Yeah, because all they want to hear is farts.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But Chrissy,
is
go
going
ahead. I didn't hear
downhill.
from you on that
Shout-
piece.
shout
I'm
out
done.
the
I'm
body
done talking
functions.
about
All right.
Going
anyways.
downhill.
limiting
fast.
the power. Yeah. Fuck it, we're going live.
Yeah. So I think what he is also saying is, he says, after he's asked that question, he said he sometimes feels pressured by all the great opportunities that God has given him, but he struggles to enjoy the moment and remember what's really important. So he gets wrapped up in like trying to make a future for himself and trying to do the things that he knows will be good for him in his future, like working, saving money, maybe going to school, all these things that he knows that is going to set himself up for a financially secure life. And, you know, there's two ways that I look at it. One of them is you feel pressured because you're under pressure. Like the things that you're doing is full of pressure. Like it's not easy to go to school. It's not easy to work, and it's not, and to do both at the same time, or even just working a full-time job sometimes it isn't easy by itself. But adding on whatever else you got going on in your life on top of all that, and we know Mike, so we know the stuff that's going on. He's getting married, you know, all this stuff going on. So you know, I think it's pretty normal to feel pressured. And what do people say? A lot of self-help people say pressure makes diamonds. And I think part of that is true. Like, I remember going through school, like at one point I was going to school and working at the same time and had an internship, but like a year before that, I was just going to school and had a job. And a year before that, I was going to a community college, which was a little less stressful, and working part-time. And a year before that, I was taking easier classes and just working part-time at a coffee shop. A year before that, I was just working part-time at a coffee shop. A year before that, I was just working as a lifeguard.
Hey, let's rephrase that sentence, all right?
What?
Lifeguarding is a decent, upright career.
Absolutely. I'm not saying it's not.
All
But
right.
the way that I was working the lifeguard,
But listen to the way that Chris was working that job.
I was sleeping in the pump room.
Sleeping in
Kaboosh.
the pump room.
So, you know, that's where I started. That was, you know.
yeah.
But and that first year of being a lifeguard, I did feel pressure, you know, of like,
To save a life.
not even to like show up to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's where I was at. But like that pressure created a little bit of a stronger will, or whatever you want to call it, to be able to do the next thing, to do the next thing, to do the next thing. And it's almost like a series of preparations to be able to do the next step in your life. And maybe that is what God or your higher power is placing in your life in order for you to be able to complete that next step and get to the position that you want to be in, which is having a family and making a living and owning a home and supporting yourself and all these things. The other way to look at it is, like also what you guys were talking about, that fulfillment, seeking fulfillment in a career, seeking like spiritual fulfillment in a career, which I can relate to, like the measure of my self-esteem being how much money I make, or what I do for my job, or all that stuff. I think that's pretty standard as well to fall into in our culture. And that's the hardest piece for me, is to not identify with someone, or like this this part of me that wants to create a name for itself, or
Right.
you know, have enough to never feel financially insecure again, you know?
Right.
This chase.
It's a very tough culture to measure your worthiness in something different than money and career.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I find it to be that way. The good news for us is that in recovery, we sort of try to sway away from that belief.
Yeah.
But here's the rub, is that there's a lot of time in recovery when you're essentially trying to get swayed away, and people are trying to get you more towards your higher power and live that spiritual life and not such a materialistic one. Here's the rub. You meet a bunch of people in your network that are successful. They go to work every day. Some of them are going back to school. You start getting inspired. Now your worthiness is back to comparison, right? Now I'm only worthy as if I do what those guys are doing. It's great that you have a network as well, but it does... I'm not going to say having a network, there's pros and cons to it, but as far as I'm concerned, it's one of the most important things in recovery. But the comparison is something almost like poison. And we talked about that in previous episodes, where you're comparing your insides to other people's outsides.
Yeah, there's a thin line between being inspired by someone else versus comparing your
your worthiness to what
Yeah.
they look like.
Or competing against it.
Yeah, I mean, and it is, I think, I work with a guy who always tells me, like, this is just a job. And I took offense to that a couple times when he said it to me, because I think my job is a little bit more than that. But now I'm starting to hear it through different ears. It is just a job. This is just a job. I go there, perform my duties for 10 hours, do the best I can. Thank God I'm so lucky I get to enjoy it for 10 hours. Well, I get to enjoy it for 5 out of the 10 hours, but
Yeah.
you know, I think I don't relate too much with that comparing worthiness. I get it. I get tinges of it every now and again, where I feel like my value is only placed in with what I'm doing at work. I don't feel it all the time, but it sounds like Mike sort of feels that a little bit. Maybe I'm reading, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but
Like, what's your thing of what pulls you out of? I guess Mike's main thing is just the idea of just being able to stay in the moment, focus on the things that are like, what's important in my life right now.
Yeah, but I want to know, and I wish we had Mike on the show. We will bring him in because it's such an important email with so much stuff in it. But like, what does he mean by that? I want to know what he means by that. I'm in the moment. Well, what does that look like? What does that mean? And how many of those moments can you gather in one day to stay in the moment? I mean, my thing is always being pulled into some sort of connection I'm having with somebody else
Yeah, me too.
to get me out of whatever worry that I'm in. Whether that's my wife or you guys.
Or yourself, maybe?
Oof, I'm working on that. I'm working on that. That I would think is the biggest obstacle I have is within me. Because I'm codependent on other people.
Right, being able to be perfectly at peace by yourself.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's been coming out. It's very tough for me. And last year I would have told you I had it in the bag.
Yeah.
In the bag.
In the
In the
bag.
bag.
It's in the
Tied
bag
up.
right here. I could take it out anytime
Sitting
I
on the
want.
desk.
But it's a lie. I don't. And going through psychotherapy and going through some of the trauma therapy I'm going through now in a much more detailed way, in a much more willing way from my end. Because I'm willing to do I want to do it for me. I'm starting
Shout
to
out
see.
to therapy. It's just shout out to therapy. It's
oh
great.
my God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shut
really.
up.
Shout out to therapy! Thanks for joining in on that, Chief. It's like I woke you up.
I saw you said such passion. I just
Yeah.
wanted to join along.
No, I appreciate that. I love it.
I just
love
felt it. I felt it, man.
Um,
But I just came in on the pee part. That was kind of weird. I just went pee.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It added something to it.
Thanks, guys. I like the encouragement.
There's something else that jumps out
Yeah.
at me in here, which is like, So he says something which is so alcoholic. I love it. What I've been doing doing to alleviate some of this is trying to think about anyone but myself.
Yeah.
Anyone.
It's like, come on, man. I
All
so
or
get
nothing,
it.
baby.
I so get it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help 20 out tonight.
I mean, it's
20
true
within
in the
an
sense
hour.
that, like, it gets you out of that self-centeredness, that self,
In
like,
a
just
way.
being wrapped up in self. But that can't be the only solution, like, you know?
It can't be the only solution. That's my point.
Yeah.
And we're usually so extreme within that.
Yeah.
You know, how does Mike sit with Mike and be okay with what Mike is going through, apart from helping others and doing the stuff he's got to do in his recovery?
Yeah.
And so when you ask me that about me being able to sit with me, I think for me that's where it's at. Like, how was it? And how was that balance in my life of, you know, helping others, working my own recovery, being a good husband, being a good son and a brother and a friend, and being good to myself. Being good to myself, man. It's the biggest one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm under the belief that you can get to a place of peace in recovery, like where you can sit with yourself, like you said, and not have to always go to a place of, well, I have to help others. Like, I have to be less selfish. And that's true. Like, we should be less selfish. We should be more others-centered and, you know, less focused on our little plans and designs. All that is true, but if that's the only thing you're constantly going to, you're missing out.
You are missing out. You're going to hit a wall.
Yeah, there's
It's inevitable.
You can find fulfillment and peace in the present moment.
Yeah.
And also be other-centered.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I think it's like one of those things where you do, we had a guest that we haven't released his episode yet, but he covers, like, at some point in his recovery, which took 10 years, he realized, like, I've worked this program, I've worked this good program, and there's some stuff that's coming out to the surface right now that I cannot handle. What do I do?
Yeah.
And it's such a real moment in people. Because I think the first few years when you're working a good program of recovery is to focus on others. And that investment is great, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Then-
true.
Then we're going to hit a wall. And mine was, I don't know who I am, really.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that keeps cropping up from my past, what is that? What does that mean to me?
Mm-hmm.
How much of a part is that? How much of a part does it have in me? And the answer was a big fucking part. A big part. So we look at that.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm out of my own head for 10 minutes in the day, I'm a winner that day, man.
Yeah.
I'm not up in my head in the sense that I think a lot about myself, yes, but not in an I'm too important kind of way. But this helping others piece, for me, I'm too realistic to think I can do it all day, every day.
Yeah.
If I do it a good 10, 15 minutes where I'm out of my head, helping a sponsee only with his bullshit, oh my God, that's such a good day. Just completely out of my head for 10, 15 minutes. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and again, I'll be performing my job, and I'm way out of myself, and then I come back in, and it's like, ooh, where was I,
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a trip.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably feel it in music, recording other people, being an engineer in the studio. Or like, do you ever commit yourself to music to the point, Devin, to the point where you just lose yourself?
Always. Mostly always. I don't say that even like
Yeah.
most days I'm like in it. I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm able to really like, unless it's something that I really don't connect with, which is, I mean, pretty rare. Like it's like, I'm lucky. Yeah. I like most, styles of music and stuff, and just, hearing where people are coming from and what they're trying to do with things and figuring all that out and kind of getting in their head on all that kind of stuff and how things need to be expressed or whatever, and
Yeah.
just totally immerse myself in that thing can be really helpful.
Mm.
And just thinking about how can I create that, if I'm composing stuff, how can I create that world for them? If I'm recording it, what tools can I use to create like a a landscape for what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
So it really does. I mean, a lot of times the days just fly. I mean, 8 hours are like fly
That's
by.
awesome.
Just like what happened. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I get it.
I'm not even like I'm like just drinking water. I'm not even like there's like no breaks. It's just like steamroll ahead kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, it happened today. It's like a time warp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good sign, probably.
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean,
Yeah.
I you know,
Like a sign that you found your calling.
Oh
or-
my God, man! I've worked these jobs where you've counted minutes on the clock.
dude,
Hell.
oh my gosh,
Hell.
dude, that was my whole.
It's hell. Can you imagine anything being hell but that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've had the jobs where like, man, I would
Burning
Yeah,
flames
there's
and
a
fox
couple
in your
of,
face.
couple of things worse than that, but yeah.
just a couple.
That's a hell for an optimist right there, pal.
Yeah.
I think hell is that good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
really
think
gonna
I
be in
think
an office watching a clock?
I think you guys are onto something though about the whole like, it is such a common default. Just to, you know, when you're getting kind of hemmed up on stuff, or I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed, and it causes you to look at yourself more or whatever, and how, because you mentioned too, like, hey, gifts of the program coming in and stuff, and I think for me, I've had like the thing where I feel like there's a responsibility to take advantage of my recovery. You know, you have that feeling of like, hey, look at how much time I wasted, and then you're like, you know, restored to this new health, and you're like, oh well, man, I better
Yes.
get to it. Like, look how much time has gone by.
I have
that
to rush
could've-
into,
you know, and I feel like that varies to person, but I do think for me there's like a subconscious thing of just like, you know, and I got sober young. I mean, I can only imagine like the dudes that, you know, got sober 10 years after me or 15 years after me, like how much time, you know, through whatever career they were in or whatever they were doing, when they get out of it and get better, like, man, you know,
Wanting to get everything back.
And they got family, you know,
Yeah.
like, and, you know, talking about, you know, savings accounts and all that kind of like, hey, I got to build this back, whatever it is, you know,
Yeah.
and that's,
you had nothing to build back up.
yeah, it's a whole, I feel like that's a big thing that can, and then I think, you know, kind of getting overwhelmed and stuff, it is kind of a common thing to just be like, well, just focus on others, you know, and I do think, you know, it's 100% like accurate, like you guys are saying, it's not like the end all be all thing. Like, of course, like focusing on others, and like whether that's like others in recovery or like the others that you work with, or, you know, just the people that you're in front of on a given day, like it's important to like do that. But then at the same time, like you were saying, like at some point, like if you're unsure to know like what, you know, what are those things you care about, or like what is the value, or why do you get hung up on these certain things? Like that takes time with yourself to figure out.
It does.
Like for me, I mean, I'll do so much like stuff, or I get involved in a lot of stuff, and man, like just getting like a freaking hour to myself to just like and say I'm gonna have an hour to like write some things out, like write down a list of like, here's some stuff I want to think about, here's some, you know, books I want to read and maybe help me think about this more, or, you know, or just, I don't know, or even talk with someone about me, like where, you know, I'm at, like, you know, it can be harder to set aside time to do that, you know, when you have you have good things happening, you know.
Well, I think there's a benefit in, I think we have a belief that there's a benefit in feeling pressure, that we're going to get something out of being overwhelmed, that there's something that's going to, I think it's a very subconscious sort of belief that we have, that if you hear somebody go, yeah, man, the more pressure I feel, the better I perform, like you think they're delusional, that they're crazy, but it's actually very accurate. And I think Mike is getting something out of those feelings because it probably is something that he's done for a while and he continues to do. So what are you getting out of it? Yeah. What is that feeling of over being overwhelmed? What is it producing within you? You know, I realized at some point while I was going back to school, because I went back to school in my 30s, and I realized going back to school, like I am someone who performs better under pressure and when I have a few days left for the paper. I am not the guy who's going to start on my term paper from day one. I'm not him. I'm not going to be that dude. I'm going to be the guy who's going to write you a hell of a paper having 5 days left and feeling that pressure. That's one thing I got to the realization too. So I got something out of feeling that pressure and being overwhelmed at school. But there's other things that I don't get out of it, so I let it go. You know?
So maybe he's pressuring himself, or he needs that pressure in order to be productive.
I think so. I think you're definitely getting something out of it. Why would you continue doing it if it's poisoning you? I think society and recovery world is telling you, I think you, well, not they, but you yourself within your society and within your own recovery, you tell yourself what Mike is telling us on email, which is all these things that he's saying. You know, I didn't go see my parents. I take things for granted. I do all those. Okay, well, you're not doing those because you're getting something out of it. So what is it? And once you're able to answer that, I think it becomes a little bit easier to know yourself.
We might need more information too. Like maybe he's doing a lot and actually being really successful in all the things he's doing, but he keeps, maybe there's a inner part of him that's saying you're not enough. You're not doing.
Which is the way I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally taking it for, I mean, I'm taking it at face value in terms of what I'm, you know, like, he's doing all these things that he's grateful for, but he's feeling overwhelmed. How do I limit that power that it has over me?
I'm still not doing enough, like, or I'm doing too much or something. I'm not doing something right here, basically.
It's not so much what I'm doing. I'm hearing him say it's got power over me that I don't want it to have. My argument is, yeah, it's got power over you, but there's something you're getting out of it.
Right.
So what is that give and take that's going on here?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I got on that.
We would need Mike here for a lot of these questions.
Yeah.
I was thinking like...
Thanks for that email. Oh, yeah, go for it, Duh.
I don't know. I was just like...
What?
No, I was just like... There's just a lot of... We have a lot of good scenarios for... Mike's probably listening to this being
sure,
like,
there's a lot of
variables.
Man.
Yeah, he's like...
That's not what it's about at all, you idiots.
Yeah,
like,
that's not even... He's like, that's not even close.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to be more like, I really didn't care about the answer. I just want to write you guys know.
I wanted to get my name shouted out on a podcast. That's like...
Exactly.
Fucking get a whole episode over here.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the email, Mike. It was actually really thought-provoking, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. We wanted to make a whole thing out of it. So,
yeah.
And we wanted a chance to catch up on reviews and thank you guys and let you know that we are coming up with some really good stuff soon. Stay tuned. Some awesome guests are coming out.
That's right. Really good guests coming.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So send us themes, send us comments. Keep sending us your stuff.
Send us some audio recordings.
Yeah.
Yeah, of like an intro. Something along the lines of, hey guys, this is so-and-so. I just wanted to drop a shout out to so-and-so. Or you can just tell us your name and that's it. And we'll put it in the interview. I mean, in the intro.
Just send us recordings of your name. Jared! Tom! Wendy!
Well, don't do that. Or you can do that.
Why would Wendy shout her name like that?
Yeah, I love how Wendy sounds.
Wendy! Sober Pod launching off.